Go on, Cormac, go on! Go on, man! Put it away!
Are you having fun?
Yeah, it's a good field, and we've had a couple of games. Today we just lost the semi-final. It was unfortunate that we lost, and I think we could get a better result in New York City where we have all the other tournaments. And I say congratulations to the winning team of our U8 tournament, and I bet they did really good to win, and I think they deserve the cup if they're gonna, because they've won all their games, they deserve it.
We've had a fantastic week here in San Francisco this week. You know, some of the things that cities find tough, like logistics with buses and all the getting people to and from the hotels. This year, San Francisco have knocked that out of the park. So it was really, really smooth sailing for our families, which helps a lot. But overall, all our games were so good. Yeah, refereeing was fantastic, and the officiating, field marshals, just had a fantastic week. This year in 2015, we have a lot of girls teams, so we're working very hard on our girls, and a lot of our girls got to finals and worked their way through the tournaments, which is very encouraging.
Why do you think there's so much growth in the girls' game?
Well, I think it has to be a focus. I mean, we have a rule for girls that they age out of the boys' co-ed teams. So we really just had to roll up our sleeves and get better with ladies' games. And there's a knock-on effect in that Camogie is now improving because the girls need teams after they're 12 years of age. So we just had to work at it.
So they play co-ed up to 12?
They play co-ed up to 12, and after 12 then they have to be on girls' standalone teams, which is fine. That's all good, but we need to put these girls in a position where they can succeed and actually play on all girls teams. Co-ed is a fine system, but what happens is the stronger girls play on the boys teams, and the weaker girls, or the girls that are not maybe strong at 8, 9 and 10 years of age, get left behind. And to be honest, the stronger girls are often bailing the boys teams out. They're very, very strong players, but it's also not helping the boys' system. So working on ladies' teams is actually improving both situations. It improves the boys' teams, it improves the ladies' teams because they focus on ladies, and it also improves camogie and ladies' football.
We've had a fantastic weekend here in San Francisco for the CYC Championships, and lots of boys and girls playing from all over America. It's great to see so many young people out enjoying themselves and having fun, and certainly it would be great to see these young people progress and be enabled to play football and hurling and Gaelic games in high school and in colleges throughout the country, which would certainly enhance the game and enhance the provision of sport for many young people throughout the country.
My daughter is playing center mid, or actually center forward, half forward, and she's played with this team since Fela 3 years ago. It's our 9th CYC, second time to San Fran. Great games, beautiful weather, great people, a lot of fun.
The girls had great games earlier, played great, and are the champions now this year. So they put a lot of effort and a lot of commitment into the games that they played this weekend, as did their coaches. And it's great to see them all here playing so well. So well done, girls. Hope you keep playing football.
You know, I first came to the second CYC in 2005 down at Foster City there in San Francisco, and for me, I came down as an official, and it was a real eye-opener to me to see all these North American children gathering here. And then in 2012 I was in Chicago, and again as an official, and seeing again the wide variety, and at that time there was even some participation from London. And I have a feeling that it was from the CYC here in North America that Britain itself decided that it needed to copy what has been taking place here in North America these many years. And for me in 2015, to be down here as a parent, to have a son from Vancouver who participated with San Francisco's U14B team in both hurling and football, for me has made it the most special to be able to watch a child enjoy new friends and new families, the warm welcome of San Francisco, to be able to, for him to participate in these 2 codes and to have a very active weekend. It'll be memories for him, memories for me and my wife, and very grateful that Canada has this opportunity to have their children take part in the premier event in North America.
Always a pleasure and a privilege to congratulate youth teams when they achieve success, and I know that the GAA in Chicago are delighted when they can beat their good friends and neighbours from Boston. So, well done on a great final, and congratulations to all the parents, coaches and members of Chicago GAA. I know you had a great weekend, and it gives me great pleasure to present this beautiful trophy to 3 captains. Michael?
That's Michael.
Michael, Brendan and Gerard. Congratulations, Chicago!
Couldn't have done it without Connor Fitzsimons.
The club actually was started in 2002 by a couple of guys got together. Tom Cairns actually was one of the founding members, and about 3 weeks ago he died, 4 weeks ago, and he was one of the driving forces behind it. Michael O'Reilly from Mullahorn, that's the colours we have, so he was one of the founding members as well. So a couple of people got together. I believe at the first CYC we had something like 5 kids, which was in purchase, I think it was 10 years ago or 12 years ago. So I mean, it's just the club is taking off. We're just ready to embark on a $5.2 million development in Frank Golden Park in Queens. Actually next Tuesday night we're opening the bids for phase 1. And that's going to be done with private money, and the private money is money from sponsors and from the club members and the parents and the families, and money from the Irish government, and money from the GAA, and money from corporations in New York, Irish corporations that have got behind us. The first phase is 1.6 million, and that's going to start hopefully in early September, and then we're going to go to phase 2 with 4 phases, but we have just very recently secured over 3.5 million for the fiscal year of 2015 and 2016 from the City of New York through the Queensborough President Melinda Katz, the Queen's delegation, senators, council members, speakers of the House. So I mean, the club is just growing. To be able to come to San Francisco, I think we've something like 70 kids. We had teams almost in every age group. We had 2 hurling teams, and Brendan will talk to you about that, which was fantastic for us. So I mean, the experience is just fantastic.
1 in 5 of our members are outside of Ireland. That's significant. It's absolutely huge what's happening at the moment. You will all come together, many of you from the North American board in Chicago, for your finals. New York will gather in Gaelic Park for their finals, and in Toronto you will gather for your finals. But it's also important to remember that right around the world in the October-November period, the Asian board will gather in Shanghai, where we now have 43 clubs, for their Asian finals. The Middle East finals will be taking place in Bahrain. There are 5,000 GAA members in Abu Dhabi alone, growing at a phenomenal rate. And going around the world in Europe, they will gather for their finals in Brussels. They have so many teams now in Europe that their finals take place in 2 venues. They'll be in Brussels, and they'll also come to Ireland in Athlone. And then in Australasia, they will gather for their finals, where there'll be close to 1,000 people participating. This year it'll be in New Zealand. The family that you belong to is growing phenomenally. There were around 1,000 children here this weekend participating in San Francisco in the FAILA competitions, and I was delighted to have San Francisco to welcome them at home in Ireland. It's close to 30,000 children this year alone took part in our FAILA competitions. And the really big story that we're very excited about, this year, towards the end of August, you're familiar with the pool camps for our under-12s, we will have 100,000 children by the end of August attending the pool camps. By far the biggest youth sport participation in the world, and it's an incredible achievement. Weekend in general was exciting. Good to see so many people participate. I believe close to 1,000 children. Anytime you can do that, that's exciting. And to have it so well organised, so well streamlined, they were getting worried at one stage because they were 5 minutes late for a game. I think that's fabulous. That's all that you have to care for. So, celebration of cultures. I saw people of all backgrounds. I saw people with some Irish connections and some with none whatsoever. And I think that's very valuable. So, great weekend. Really liked it.
Future of this tournament then, where do you see it going?
I think it fits in as part of the jigsaw to the GAA generally. It's not standalone, it should never be seen as that. I think that nothing in the GAA is standalone. I think it fits in with the jigsaw of an international and a growing international GAA, which I spoke about inside after our meal tonight. And I think this tournament is part of that. We have a similar tournament in Britain. We have the Féile in Ireland, 30,000 children this year. We'll have 100,000 children attending our pool camps this year. So this is an important tournament where they come from all across the continent of North America, and that's hugely important. But we have New York and Canada and all the cities and rural areas too, indeed, from all across America coming together to celebrate with each other, to have fun together. That's what playing games is about.